Hello there. Welcome back to Star Wars in a Galaxy, watching all the Star Wars we can get our hands on. I'm Eli,
I'm Jacob.
and today we got a fun, chill little episode. First of all, we hope y'all enjoyed the bracket stream, the fourth bracket stream of Star Wars in a Galaxy. That was so much fun to put together. Congratulations again to Mr. Jared the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs for not only putting out a victory, but being the first person ever to dominate both sides of the bracket, to conquer both sides. And we have a guest on, actually,
He
from
finally
Jared's
won
show.
something.
He finally won something. He couldn't win trivia. He did not know El Frona.
He did not know El Frona.
He did not know El Frona. And I will relish in that fact for all time that he did not know El Frona. But we have a co-host of Jared's on. We have Mr. Conor Cicchitti from the Nerd Academy podcast.
I'm good, Eli. Glad to be here. It's been I think literally the last time I was on with you guys was Clone Wars and Rebels bracket.
Yeah.
Back in
I remember that.
Was that 2020?
It was 2021. It was March 2021. It was about a year ago. Jacob actually texted me because the day we did our most recent bracket was one day less than a year to the day we did the Rebels bracket.
Yeah, I saw
that's
that.
insane.
I was looking back through the In a Galaxy YouTube channel. I was like, oh my gosh, how has it been a year already?
By the way, notice everyone that we have gotten Connor on the show before Andrew because we don't trust him.
Fair. That's a fair point.
Andrew is a wild card. He is
Andrew's an agent of chaos, and we don't trust him.
He's a menace. He is a menace.
And no, go listen to Outer Rim Reads. Anyway, so Connor, before we get into these tier lists, how do you get into Star Wars? How do you get into this universe?
So, I don't actually have one specific point in time that I can point to. All I remember growing up, I think I was either 4 or 5. I can't really remember. I watched bits of Return of the Jedi and bits of Phantom Menace, and I think bits of A New Hope. And I think I just kind of got started into it because of that. I always watched the action scenes as a kid of movies. That was always it for me. Whereas now it's like I understand why action scenes aren't usually the best part of the movies because sometimes just characters interacting are like just really, really good. And then I saw Revenge of the Sith at 8 years old in the theater. I remember bawling my eyes out at Order 66. So that was fun. Watched Clone Wars with a friend who I gotta say he really got me into Star Wars. And like he's become one of those like legends people, like those people. So like we haven't really talked Star Wars like at all. And we just haven't really communicated, but like I have to shout him out for really getting me into it because he showed me a bunch of the games. We did lightsaber fights in his front yard and just hung out and just talked Star Wars. And then I kind of fell out of it for about a few years, not because of any hatred for it, but because school and running really took a lot of time for me. And I just never really got back into it until freshman year of college when Rogue One was actually my reintroduction. It was really not, I think Force Awakens was, but to a lesser extent. I remember Rogue One being like my big reintroduction to Star Wars because it's like the first movie that's not a Skywalker saga movie and it like expands the galaxy. And I'm like, ooh, that's kind of neat. I'm going to check out some of the other stuff. And like, lo and behold, I'm a big fan of the extended universe of the canon. So it's been a fun ride.
Follow-up question, Connor. How did you get into Star Wars content creation, like putting out your thoughts, your creativity into the broader world?
So I have to credit all of that to a Facebook group I was a part of for a while before I recently just decided to not use Facebook. The group in question is called the Alliance of Star Wars Fanatics, and their whole big philosophy was to talk about Star Wars in a positive, constructive, and a like authentic way. And the big thing was like the whole positivity, because like this fandom is a cesspool, as we all know, from time to time. And by from time to time, I mean all the time. So I joined that group and then got invited to be on the administration team there to help run the group and everything. And they were starting a podcast. And they asked if I wanted to be on. And I said, sure. So I got the microphone I'm currently using, Blue Snowball Ice. Got it for $30. Really was a bargain. And then I just kind of started podcasting. And then I realized I had like ideas for articles that I wrote. And when I realized we had a website and a blog, I would be able to convey what I thought about Star Wars, just like little topics here and there through that. And so that kind of ballooned into what I'm doing now, which is podcasting with the Nerd Academy podcast, specifically the Star Wars show, Knights of the Nerd Republic. To keep it really short, I just have to say this. Daniel Miller was the key to all of this, because if you don't know Dan Miller, check him out. He's on Bro Axiom. He's a really cool dude. I love him when it comes to Star Wars and just other stuff in general. What's the word? I can't think of the word. Great. Fuck. I can't think of the word. Oh, there's the word. There was a podcast that Jared was a part of for a while, and Dan Miller said, hey, we should get this guy Conor in because he's like a big Star Wars guy. So they got me into that podcast, and then we kind of went our separate ways because the guy was kind of controlling. I don't really know. Jared knows the story more than me. I was kind of an outsider that like had some inside stuff, but like Jared knows more of the story. So Jared and all the TNAP guys that we have today, they all kind of split off from that group, and I was like the last one to go through with it because like I didn't know what I was gonna do. And then I realized, yeah, I'm getting out of here. So I went from that podcast, it was called Do Back Discussion, to now the Nerd Academy podcast. And now I'm just doing that, and I'm writing articles for another site, sweditorig.com. I also do stories, so that's fun. And the big thing with that is it's fan fiction, but it's like more, because we have a team of creatives. We have a story group. And our big thing is we keep to the canon and we honor it while also adding to it in our own unique ways. So like there have been very little times where like what is put into canon kind of hamstrings some of our stories, but like we really are able to work around most of the pretty much all the stuff that comes out and that has come out. So it's really interesting. I have 2 stories coming out in August. You can probably guess the character I'm writing about because it is a pre-existing character. It's not hard to figure out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm pretty much doing now. I'll provide links and whatnot after. So
absolutely. Should we just get into this stuff? Should we get into the tier lists?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Sure.
So actually, Connor, as you are our guest, why don't we do the one that you gave us first?
Sure.
We're looking at Star Wars lightsaber duels. We're doing a tier list of Star Wars lightsaber duels. So our first duel on this list is Sidious versus Maul and Savage in season 5 of the Clone Wars.
Oh,
Ooh, I think that's an underrated duel. I'm a really big fan of that duel.
that is
I think it's very good.
I would say
where are you
A or
thinking?
B.
My thing was B. I was thinking B. What do you think, Connor?
Ooh.
So how we do this?
Okay. So like, if we're talking, so like the duel by itself, I think is really, really good. Like the mechanics of it and everything. But like looking at it as sort of a little event in the larger picture of Maul's character arc, where it's like he killed Obi-Wan's pretty much the only person she would have left. He would have left the Jedi Order for, and he rules Mandalore. He's leader of Death Watch. Like he's pretty much like quote unquote on top of the world, and he fell right then and there because Palpatine realized, yo, this guy's trying to take some of my power away. I can't really have that. So he kills Savage Opress, probably the dumbest name I've ever heard. Actually, no, it's not the name. It's more the character. I really wish they didn't do what they did. I liked him pre-Dark Side.
Yeah.
You know, mystical
Brain
stuff.
Scramble. Yeah.
And he just kind of like really falls out of favor with everyone, and not everyone, but like he really falls out of favor with the Emperor. And I mean, not that he was really in favor with the Emperor. Like the Emperor kind of, probably indirectly saw him as a tool to be used. So I think when taken into account what it means for Maul both before and after, I got to go with A.
So we're at A. And I think we're going to put this in A.
I think this is an A tier duel. Yeah, I think it has a lot of significance.
Next one, we have Rey and Kylo on Kefir in Rise of Skywalker. Now, if it was up to me, I'd put this in S because I believe this is this is a great duel. But I doubt that's probably what's going to happen. I'll pass it off to the two of you. What do you think about Rey and Kylo on Kefir?
I'm not the hugest fan of this duel. If it were up to me, I'd say C probably. It doesn't really work for me. Not too much to say there, but I'm not too hard set on this one. So if you guys feel like it belongs higher up, I have no problem with that because I'm not the biggest sequel fan, so I'm probably not the best equipped to talk about the significance of it in the broader universe.
I think, again, the scene right before it, where one of the lines I think that really stands out to me in Rise of Skywalker, because I think it was one of those lines that just felt like it was like, okay, we need some time to like breathe. And it was the line of Kylo saying to Rey, like, you can't go back to her now like I can. And it's like, ooh, baby. He thinks she's gone, but Leia's like, nope. Like the actual duel itself, I think is pretty good, but like sort of the emotionality of it with Rey stabbing Kylo and then healing him, and then Kylo becoming Ben. I gotta go. Ooh. It's weird because like if we're talking about the duel itself, I would go B, but like the sort of character moments in the duel, especially near the end, just like to me push it up to an A. But like I'm fine with A, or like whatever's in between A and B, like A.5.
Yeah, if there was an in between A and B, that would probably be where we're putting it. I'm fine
putting it in A if you guys feel that's where it belongs.
I'm sorry, I just can't put it any lower than A. This is just one of those duels. The next few are just duels that I just absolutely adore. Luke and Kylo on Crate, which is funny. This is a duel on there because their lightsabers never come into contact once. I adore this duel. I adore everything about this duel. I would put it at S in my opinion, but I understand there might be some
Some
conflicting
dissent.
some dissent about this, but the way Luke is portrayed in here is the Luke walking out with a laser sword and taking on the entire First Order himself, like he says early in the movie. It's a beautiful, like, this is maybe one of my favorite parts of The Last Jedi as a movie, is just the beautiful artistry of this duel.
Yep. It's a beautiful end cap to Luke's story in The Last Jedi. Again, the lead up. All three of these duels have wonderful lead up. Last Jedi on Crate probably has the best build up.
Oh yeah,
because of Luke coming and walking out, and it's just like the
brushing
music,
the dust off.
He's brushing. Yeah, it's not even that. Just him walking before the ATM-6s all fire on him. It's like just this sort of the music that John Williams just expertly and perfectly conveys with that build up. I gotta go A. So, but
Well, I was
like
gonna say S for this,
I
okay,
also do not mind if it's put in S tier.
I don't think you have any danger of it being put in S tier, because now we're gonna hear Jacob's opinion of it.
You know, I think a lot of my problems with this duel, I can't really disambiguate from my problems with The Last Jedi as a whole. I didn't really agree with or enjoy their some of their decisions for Luke. I think that this duel was no different. I personally didn't agree with the twist that he wasn't actually there. I didn't think that did a lot. I didn't think that did a lot. It was pretty cool. There were some cool moments. I loved obviously Kylo more, Luke just brushing it off like it's nothing, because he's actually a force projection or whatnot. So if it were up to me, I'd say probably D or C. So I think compromise split. If we put it in B, I feel like that's a good representation of where we all stand on it. What do you guys think about that?
B hurts, but I think that's where we're putting it.
That works for me.
All right.
Duel of the Fates.
Oh,
I will
man.
spoil this one for everyone. This is my favorite duel in all of Star Wars. The energy is there, the drama is there, the thematic stakes are there. This is the perfect lightsaber duel. I really, if this gets put lower than A, and even if it gets put in A, I'm gonna have some questions for people, because this is just like Qui-Gon is exactly what he should be in that fight. So is Maul, so is Obi-Wan. The intensity is just up there. It's just, I love this duel so much.
I agree. I'm a huge fan of this duel. Not only is it really exciting to watch, it's intense. The dynamic is perfect between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Maul, and the way that their characters are reflected, obviously, by how they're fighting, how Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are fighting together. Some great moments as well. Who's ever gonna forget? The doors open. There's Maul. He whips out the lightsaber. Boom! Double-bladed lightsaber. What the heck? Oh my god! And then, of course, my favorite moment is when you have the laser doors. You have Qui-Gon calmly meditating, trying to gather himself, and then you see Maul pacing around, just waiting for his moment, like he's stalking him like a wild animal. So my vote is for S tier. I'm a big believer in this duel.
Yeah, S tier.
Let's do this, baby.
So first S tier.
S tier for Duel of the Fates. Yoda and Dooku on Geonosis. I'll say this. I used to be a lot higher on this duel. I still very much like this duel. I think it's very underrated as a duel. I would put it at an A tier. I think it's still it wouldn't be up there with my top stuff, but I still think the reveal of Dooku and how many Jedi he just got away with massacring on Geonosis. And the stakes that involve Yoda pulling out a lightsaber for the first time. I think it's beautiful, and I think the duel is so incredibly well crafted. And it brings Yoda in a way that feels, for me at least, like good for him. You couldn't have Yoda be a regular lightsaber duelist, and he's not. Yoda has his own unique, unorthodox ways of using his lightsaber, and I think it really works in the context of this fight.
I think in terms of just the raw, straight up choreography, this isn't my favorite duel. Personally, I feel that although I know there is some debate. Some people say, oh, the prequel duels are super over choreographed, way too elaborate. Who's fighting like that? Personally, I like it. These are Jedi who've been, very formal training, very, very traditional training. Also, just they're doing this with the order, with the resources that they have, with the knowledge at their disposal. They're doing what they're doing with these fighting styles at an incredibly high level. That being said, I think this is one of those duels that suffers somewhat, despite that, from being just a little too elaborate, at least for my taste. Nonetheless, obviously, I think just going from the Yoda we see in Empire Strikes Back and then the Yoda that we see on the Jedi Council, I really do like getting to see this other side of Yoda and just all the possibilities in this moment when I remember seeing this for the first time, seeing Yoda like this, and just all the possibilities that jumped into my mind of, wait, I thought I knew who Yoda was. I clearly do not. Like this is something else entirely. So I really have to give it props for that. I would give it an A.
Honor?
Yeah, I would give it an A too. I agree with
Y'all
Jacob.
put it at an A, so that's where it's going.
Yep. Choreography isn't the greatest, but again, especially if you've read Dooku Jedi Lost by Cavan Scott, there's a lot more emotional depth to this duel.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things, going off what you're saying, Hunter, about Star Wars is how everything bounces off itself, and you can appreciate different works so much more by the scaffolding that's built around them, and I think the prequels especially, I think Lucasfilm, with a lot of the both legends and canon and novelizations, I think the prequels especially, they've done a phenomenal job of making them so much better by adding in more stuff if you really want to find it beyond just the movies. And then when you go back and watch the movies, it is so much more intense, with the Clone Wars, with Jedi Lost, with everything of that nature.
Yeah. So we're getting on to Obi-Wan and Maul in season 4 of the Clone Wars. This is Revenge.
Ooh, yeah.
Revenge.
Obi-Wan and Maul in Revenge. Wait, so is this the duel where he chops off Savage's arm, or is that a different one?
Yes, this is the duel where he chops off Savage's arm.
Oh man, this is a crazy duel.
It's a crazy duel. In a surprise to absolutely no one, I'm gonna put this probably at a C or a D for me, because
not surprising.
This episode is just incredibly meh for me, because I just don't buy Maul's return, especially how they executed it. I'm just not a big fan of it, and I think this duel is kind of nothing.
But okay, that's fair. I'm definitely more of a fan of this. I think it does a great job, not only from the duel itself, from a choreography standpoint. I think is amazing. It's intense. You've got Obi-Wan, going up against Maul, against Savage, and he really goes into beast mode in this one. It's kind of unlike anything we'd seen before for Obi-Wan when it was released. Yeah, I think again, just as a part of the story, it does such a good job of, just showing the intensity with which Maul is in this duel portraying, the intensity with which Maul is pursuing, revenge on Obi-Wan, and how Obi-Wan, when Obi-Wan finally gets fed up, and in this duel, after Stas Ali was killed by Savage, when he finally kind of says, enough is enough, he's going to go on the offensive a little bit, and he lashes out, and he does some serious damage, which is something that we don't often get to see from Obi-Wan, obviously, because of his approach to the Force, to his role as a Jedi. So for that, I would have to give it a B if it were up to me.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember much of this duel, but if from what I can remember, it was pretty cool. I'm gonna go with a B.
Okay, I think we're gonna give this a C because you both said B and I was somewhere around D, or maybe we'll give it a B. What do you think, B or C?
B.
I will
B.
say I'll say B for this one.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
pretty high up on this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Ben and Vader in episode 4. I feel like we should give this an S just automatically because the scene, I know that the choreography is kind of meh, but
the choreography kills it for me. If it was just based on the choreography, I'd give it a C.
I'd give it a D, but just the dialogue in this scene is pure gold, which elevates it up to S for me. There's nothing I would change about the scene for dialogue.
The dialogue really good. I would go A, but the choreography is C.5 level, going
and
into
look,
D.
they were limited by the technology of their time.
I know.
They were.
I know. It's still not great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think
go C.
Okay.
Wait, you're giving it a C? Wait, no, wait. No, you're giving it an A, right?
No, I'm giving it a C.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think I would give this an S as well. Obviously the choreography, not the greatest, shall we say. Definitely very rudimentary, does not age well at all. That being said, the dialogue, I wouldn't change a thing. Watching this when I watched Star Wars for the first time, I watched it in release order, and man, this hit so hard, this duel, when I was 9 watching this for the first time. And this is one of those moments that just gets so much better because of the rest of Star Wars, because of all the context that we've gotten, after we've seen the prequels, we've seen the Clone Wars, we've read the novels, we know so much more about Anakin and Obi-Wan and their journey and how their lives intertwined, and that just makes it so much better for me. So I would give an S, so I think that would bring us to a compromise on an A or a B, I think.
I think, A, I would probably say.
I think two S's and a B. Connor, is that all right with you?
That's fine.
2 S's and a C.
I would say A is good. Yeah, I'd say A is pretty good.
What do we got next?
Okay, Ahsoka and Grievous on Florum. It's one of those duels. This is for me. It's one of those duels that I always want to like more, but I don't.
I don't remember much of this. I'm gonna kind of give it a C.
Yeah, I think
I'll give it like a B probably for me.
This is in the crystal. No, not the crystal. This is in the young lightsaber arc. Yeah. I'm quite a fan of this moment. I think as a duel itself, there's not much to it, Ahsoka, she does a good job of standing up to Grievous, but she does kind of get body slammed in the end.
I feel like Ahsoka actually holds her own against Grievous on this one. I think
maybe I'm thinking of something else. Isn't there a moment when he puts his foot on her face and flips her over or something ridiculous?
That's in the one earlier in the Clone Wars.
Oh, that's earlier in the Clone Wars.
This is actually kind of I love that. I will say this one's a double-sided coin for me because on one hand, Ahsoka goes from being absolutely wrecked by Grievous at the beginning, to absolutely destroying Grievous now. But then again, what has Grievous actually done so far in the Clone Wars? This fight would be a lot more threatening if Grievous had actually done anything threatening in the Clone Wars. So,
you have a point, yeah. I still think it's a great moment, big growth for Ahsoka, throughout this arc, and I think it's just kind of a great capstone moment for that. But yeah, I'll say, I would give it a B if it were up to me, but I'm fine with it landing in C if that's where
I think it's going to land in C, yeah.
All right, so be it.
We have Ahsoka, Maul, and Kanan versus the 3 Inquisitors from Twilight Princess. I rewatched this episode just this morning, God. Actually. I will say this. I'll say this.
A. That's my ranking. A.
Your ranking is A. Twilight of the Apprentice for me is an incredible episode. I don't consider this one of the reasons. I don't think it's a bad duel by any such stretch of the imagination. I just like the picture's really cool. The visual's really cool. I don't think the duel stands out for me that much. I love seeing all those lightsabers clashing. I love seeing Maul form this tenuous alliance with this Kanan and Ahsoka before the whole blinding incident thing. And I love seeing all of the Inquisitors in action. I just think this is it's not even the best duel in its episode, which is kind of a problem. So I'm putting it at B.
Yeah, I will say A as well. I'm a huge fan of this duel. Obviously, there are multiple parts to it. It shifts around. I love when Maul, he has that moment where he starts cackling like a madman. He's like, "Oh, what fun!" And then he just jumps in and starts going absolutely ham. He tries to tempt Ezra to the dark side with killing the 7th sister. He goes absolutely nuts on the 8th brother. He blinds Kanan, man. I'm a huge fan of this. Yeah, I would give it an A.
Yep.
We put it as A because Ahsoka and Maul on Mandalore. I want either of you right now to convince me that this is not an S.
I don't think I will be able to.
Me neither. I like this duel. I just don't think I've just never been I gotta rewatch it because the first time I watched it, maybe it was something about the choreography, but there was something off to me. But I still really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's a great duel. It's a great moment. It's exciting. It's gripping. It's beautifully executed, but it just doesn't, for me, it just doesn't reach that same level of just being an incredible iconic moment. So if it were up to me, I'd give it an A tier, but if the consensus says otherwise, I do not object.
I think we might actually be reaching an A tier on this, which is
all right.
May mortally wound me, but whatever. Ahsoka and Vader on Mallow. Actually, I didn't say. Sorry, I want to talk about Ahsoka and Maul on Mandalore specifically.
All right, go for it.
I love this duel so much. Everything about it is great. The fact that they got Ray Park back to do motion capture for Maul. The fact that just everything about the duel, the vision that Maul receives and his whole explanation is gripping and chilling, and the entire they're battling on those kind of tightrope things, and that's extremely successful. And the fact that Ahsoka is able to beat Maul at 16 is crazy, and I cannot talk enough about this duel. This duel is awesome. I love it. Ahsoka and Vader on Malachor.
S.
Again. What did you say, Connor?
S.
Jacob?
S. Yeah, S.
Duh.
There's not much that needs to be said about this.
I rewatched it this morning. It still holds up. It still holds up. The emotional weight of Ahsoka and Anakin's past engagements and past relationship come to full circle in this duel. It's just a beautiful display. And yeah, it's one of those things where this duel is not really it's not about the lightsaber duel, of course. It's not about the lightsaber duel. It's about the emotions. It's about the history. It's about the chemistry between the two. And Ashley Eckstein kills it. James Earl Jones kills it. Matt Lanter kills it. It's beautiful on every sense, inside every sense of the word.
Yeah, I just remember I was just in shock when this duel dropped, when this episode dropped. Yeah, easy S tier for me. What do we have next?
Palpatine and Windu on Coruscant in Revenge of the Sith.
B. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would give this. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just like it's a decent like. It's decent. It's pretty good, but it's nothing too special. I'd go with in between a B and a C. I'm fine with whatever the consensus is.
Yeah. The one thing that I do love about this duel is Palpatine's ridiculous facial expressions and moves while dueling.
Yes.
The all the stuff where he goes like, oh,
yep.
like this stuff is hilarious. I love that all. And the dialogue is iconic of its own. You know, it's treason then, and you know,
of course.
I am the Senate. It has its own iconic flair, but the duel is not like anything to write home about for me.
Yeah, I'll give this a. It is a little underwhelming, you know, given the caliber at which Mace Windu and
the
Sidious
build
are
up
supposed to be.
The build up of it was like, holy shit! We got
the build up is better than the duel.
Yeah.
Then 3 of them go down like it's nothing.
No. I would say C. Yeah, I'm going with C now.
I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. Well, Eli, what was your grading for it?
Mine was a B.
Okay, yeah, okay. 2 C's, B. Okay, that's a B.
I might say D now, just so we can get C.
Fuck it. Obi-Wan.
Okay, we'll move it to C.
Okay.
Let's move it to C.
That's fine.
Obi-Wan and
Maul on Naboo.
It's different from.
Love this.
Yeah,
fucking love it.
Yeah, it's
a great moment for Obi-Wan as a Padawan because he's just, as far as we knew before Clone Wars, he just killed a Sith Lord. So it's like, bro, that's a big up right there.
It's an incredible.
And it's just incredibly choreographed.
Yeah. And my favorite part of the whole thing
is honestly my favorite part of the whole Duel of the Fates.
It might be
especially him bouncing up and down, like him just bouncing up and down, just anxious as fuck, ready to fight.
He's amped up. Yeah, my favorite part about this specific part of the duel is when they do the whole. Is when they like barely even touch each other's lightsabers. You know those like 4 hits where they don't even like the lightsabers aren't really touching, just like ends of the tips are touching. The and the sound effect it makes for that, I just love that. It's. And everything about it is for me iconic. It's about that force push that sends Obi-Wan over the edge, and him force pulling Qui-Gon's lightsaber to dissect Maul and prove himself a Jedi Knight and avenge his master is perfect. Luke, Vader, Bespin.
Ooh, for me, I'm gonna say S tier.
I would say I'm gonna go B.
Interesting. So I was actually going to say A myself, and I think that's probably where we're going to put it because it averages.
Because like I like it, but it's nothing. It's got a really good dynamic, but it's not like a standout duel for me.
It's one of those things where the best part of the duel is not a duel part. The best part of the duel is Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. That's the best part of the duel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the duel is dramatic. It's epic. It has that it has that original trilogy nostalgia to it. So I'll give it that. All the original trilogy. We're talking about Ben and Vader. We're talking about Luke and Vader. We're talking about Luke and Vader 2 and Jedi. Has that like dramatic flair to it that makes it special in my eyes. But I remember seeing people rank this as like their favorite lightsaber duel in all of Star Wars. I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I think an A then would be for averaging things out. I think that the setup and obviously you've got the choreography. Look, it's a hell of a lot better than episode 4, but it's still the original trilogy choreography. But I think, at least for me, I think the concept, the dynamic, and kind of the creativity of the setup outweigh the choreography.
I mostly agree as well. We have Qui-Gon and Maul on Tatooine. I feel like this should be a D tier.
Yeah, I don't know. I would give it a D.
It lasts like all of 1 minute.
I think
short, but I like it. I'd give it a B, but I'm fine with whatever. I like the choreography of it, so
yeah. I think it's short but sweet. But it's really just a lead up for later. Yeah. Like it just sets up the tension.
Yeah, I just don't think, like, other than Maul almost running over Anakin, there's not really much I like about this duel, to be completely honest with you. We have Rey and Kylo Ren on Ilum in The Force Awakens. If this were up to me, this would be an automatic S tier, because this paved the way for me for the modern lightsaber duel in a way that no other duel had done so for that point. Like, we had the original trilogy era duels, we had the prequel trilogy era duels. This was the perfect synthesis. This was, Rey pulling the lightsaber, claiming the Skywalker destiny. And the duel is so energetic, and Rey is so fired up, Kylo's so fired up. He's just gotten off of killing his father. He's just gotten off of being shot by his father's best friend. It's a beautiful duel, and I think it's a really fun duel, and I think it's a really, it confirms to me why The Force Awakens works so well for me, because it just has that great energy that JJ and Daisy and Adam all put into that scene, and Williams' music and during this is flawless. Wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, I think I'd give this an A. I'm a fan of this duel. I think
I'd give it an A too.
The choreography, I think the setup is great. The dynamic is amazing. This is definitely, for me, one of the greatest, one of the best moments of the sequel trilogy. I think I know it draws criticism for being, I guess you could say, almost under choreographed, or it's a little too sloppy. I've heard people compare it to waving around pool noodles, but I think it works in this context, given Kylo Ren, he's obviously a very raw fighter, doesn't have a lot of discipline, and Rey, who's obviously taught herself defense based on hitting people with a metal stick. So I think it really works. I think it's raw. I think it's intense. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, so I think we all agreed in A. Or Connor, did you want to say something else about it? Or?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan on the invisible hand in Revenge of the Sith.
A.
Yeah, I'll give this one an A.
I'm gonna give this one a C, because I'm not a huge fan of it. It doesn't really stand out dueling wise in my eyes. There's nothing like
fuck. No.
I was not aware this was gonna be
blasphemy.
I was genuinely not aware that was gonna be such a hot take. I thought we were gonna place it in the lower half.
Blasphemy. I freaking love this duel. The setup's pretty okay, but like the actual duel itself, I thought it was pretty freaking cool.
Okay, so, apparently I'm the unpopular one on here for that, but I'm gonna put it at B because AA and C. So yeah. Over Mustafar on Grand Moff Tarkin's Star Destroyer, we have finally a fight that's worthy of our time: Kanan and Ezra versus the Inquisitor.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd put it at A myself.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd put it in A myself. I think there's a lot to love with this duel. It doesn't have that quite enough of that X factor to get it up to the S tier stuff, but undeniably Kanan's God mode is one of the greatest moments of
I mean,
season
dude,
1 of
him
Rebels.
cutting the Grand Inquisitor's saber is just like phenomenal.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm easy S for me on this one. It's
Okay.
phenomenal, and this is just the moment I think when it really showed the world what Rebels was all about. After a season that drew a lot of criticism, some of it warranted, some of it overblown in my opinion. This was really, to this day, I think one of the highlights of Rebels and of Star Wars in general.
Okay, I just want to say the next 2 duels, I'm ranking at C.
What do we have for the next?
So our next duel we have on Geonosis, Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku. I was going to place this at D myself, actually, because the only thing
Obi-Wan Dooku stuff. It's the Obi-Wan and Anakin stuff that kind of kills it for me.
The only thing I really do like about this duel is the Anakin with 2 sabers. I think that's an interesting idea and something they should totally do more in Star Wars, beyond Ventress. But I think there's not really much having this duel stand out.
Yeah, I agree, honestly.
So where are you putting it?
I'll put it at C as well.
Okay. Obi-Wan versus Grievous on Utapau. Personally, I know Connor you already said you're gonna rank it C. I would rank it A myself, because I do like, this. Actually, I think I'd put it at B, because this fight has a lot of good energy in it, and I think there's a lot to love, but I understand why somebody would fall flat on it. I love Grievous, and I love the way his character works, especially in Revenge of the Sith. And I think that it delivers us a new kind of lightsaber duel. I understand it could be it was a little drawn out with all of the stuff that happens, and Obi-Wan does disarm Grievous to get to like the weird speeder chase rather quickly. But look, this fight is what brought us Hello There. This fight is what got us that entire sequence of dialogue, and I truly believe that's that keeps it out of bad territory.
Yeah, I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B.
I'm giving it B.
Okay.
Anakin and Dooku on Tatooine.
I'll go B.
I was gonna go D.
I gotta rewatch the Clone Wars movie, but like I freaking love the Clone Wars movie, so like I'm sentimental. B.
I'm lukewarm on the Clone Wars movie. Generally I don't like it that much. Yeah. I generally don't like it that much, and the only thing I remember about this duel that I really liked was when Dooku gains an advantage by throwing sand at Anakin with the Force, which I think is fun.
Yeah, that moment is fun. Yeah, I'll give this a C. There's not an awful lot to it, I think, but again, yeah, I agree. The sentimental value is there. I love the Clone Wars movie as well.
So the next one we have is over Toydaria, Dooku versus Asajj Ventress versus Savage Opress.
When was this duel?
This was Witches of the Mist after so Dooku's like, hey, Savage, can you bring Katunko back to me alive? And Savage is like, sure. And then he's like, here, I brought him back dead. And Dooku's like, why the fuck did you do that? You're a stupid apprentice. And Ventress is like, that's no way to treat your apprentice. I should know I was treated that way by you. And it devolves into a 3-way fight between Dooku and Ventress and Savage. Dooku, who wants to control Savage, Ventress, who wants to control Savage, and Savage, who just wants to be left the fuck alone.
I genuinely don't remember this duel, so I'm just going to give it I don't know, actually, because like a 3-way duel sounds really cool, and they probably did a lot with it, but like I don't remember anything of it.
I was going to put it at C myself. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Probably going to go C. maybe D.
I mean, it's cool, but like, yeah.
Yeah,
Jacob?
I'd give it a B. I think it doesn't quite live up to the potential that a three-way duel could have,
Yeah.
but it's cool enough for me.
Next, your master has deceived you into believing you can become a Jedi. Vader versus Kanan and Ezra on Lothal. I feel like, and this is weird because I'm probably the person who's the most negative about Rebels out of all three of us. And believe me, I'm not negative about Rebels at all. But I think this deserves S, which is something I didn't think I was going to find myself saying about Rebels, especially this duel, but here I am.
I don't remember this duel, and I've rewatched, and I'm starting to and I'm in the process of rewatching Rebels. I'm gonna go with B.
Yeah, I would give this a B. I think it's not Rebels' finest moment, but it's still a very solid duel, if not the most memorable.
So I think that means we're probably giving it an A. That sound good to both of you?
Sure.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi. Oh, this one, yeah. S.
Luke Vader on Death Star 2 over Endor. Yeah, S. Beautiful art.
S, easy.
Chef's kiss.
Yep. Oh, Twin Sons. S.
Twin Sons. S. Chef's kiss. Beautiful art.
S.
Perfect.
Yeah, those were two of the easiest duels ever. They're both just so incredibly poetic and so moving. And you really get insight into Luke, Vader, Maul, and Obi-Wan, and their emotions and their psyches in all of and both of those fights. So yeah, easy. Ventress versus Ahsoka and Luminara, on the Star Destroyer Tranquility, I believe it is.
Oh.
In
yeah.
Look at
Darkness. I like this duel a lot. I'm gonna give it an A.
I'm gonna give it a D because I'm kind of mad on this, honestly. Jacob?
I would give this. I'll give it a B. It's pretty cool. Actually, a C. I'll give it a C.
Okay, I think we're gonna give it a C.
Okay,
that's what we're gonna do.
It's fine. What's this next one?
Ventress versus Obi-Wan and Anakin above. Where is that planet? Where is that fucking planet? I know this episode. It's Night Sisters.
This is. I think this is right after.
It is after Dooku betrays.
Yeah, this is right after Dooku betrays Ventress. This is right after Palpatine is
it's over Sullust.
This is right after Palpatine is like, "Oh, she's grown too powerful. You must eliminate her." And he's like, "No, I don't want to eliminate her." He says, "Eliminate her."
And
yeah, I kind of remember this duel, but not really. I'll give it a C.
I was gonna give it like a D or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a. Yeah, I'll give it a C. It's not
okay.
Nothing special to me.
Yoda versus Palpatine on Coruscant.
A.
Yeah, it's a solid A. I don't think it's like iconic S tier, but
yeah, I like the duel. My opinion of this duel has decreased over the few years because I love both these characters, but both of their fighting styles are so ridiculous, and I don't think really work as well as they could have in a fight of this caliber. I do love seeing them throw the literal Senate at each other, though. I think that's really awesome. Yeah, we're putting it at A. I think I probably would have put it at B, but yeah. Battle of the Heroes. Obi-Wan, Anakin, Mustafar.
Yeah, it drags on a little too long. And
but the dialogue is perfect.
The dialogue and just everything at the end is just phenomenal. So yeah,
the dialogue is
A.
A.
Yeah, I give this an I think I give this an S, but I'm fine with an A as well. But it's not my favorite duel, but it is definitely phenomenal.
So this is our tier list.
That's our tier list.
Ds. That's interesting.
No Ds. I thought we were gonna get one or two. I'll ask this. Let's do this at the end. I'll go around. I'll ask everybody what opinion they what placement they most agree with and most disagree with.
I just want to ask, is your favorite overall Star Wars duel in this list?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine is you're gonna say a Fallen Order duel, aren't you, Connor?
Yeah, because mine's not. My actual favorite overall lightsaber duel is Cal Kestis versus the Ninth Sister atop the Origin tree on Kashyyyk. I just really like that fight. You're active in it. Cal just went through a spiritual journey because he just fully reconnected to the Force on Kashyyyk. The Origin tree has a lot of spiritual significance to the Wookiees. And it's just a fight atop the Origin tree, man. And he dismembers her right hand. And like, that's just dope. So
he just took down an Inquisitor, BD.
Yep. So
yeah.
That was his episode 1 Phantom Menace. That was his episode 1 Obi-Wan moment.
Yeah. What is your favorite duel in Star Wars, Jacob? I'm now curious.
Man, this is a hard one, but I think Return of the Jedi, Luke and Vader. I think it's an incredible duel.
I fucking love that your favorite duel is the Return of the Jedi one. Like, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I know, because that's my least favorite of the original trilogy movies. But
oh, you shouldn't have said that. I was going with because I'm the Return of the Jedi stand-in here. But okay.
Yeah, I mean, just it's so beautiful emotionally. The journey that Vader's been on, the journey that Luke has been on, them, coming face to face again. The lead up is absolutely incredible. Okay. The way they walk in there, the way Luke is just calmly next to Vader, that's insane to me after what they've been through. And then just you have that moment where, Luke finally has Vader on the back foot. He cuts his robot hand off. He wants to strike him down. And then Luke he tosses his lightsaber when he says, "No, this is not the Jedi way. I'm a Jedi like my father before me." Like,
damn straight.
That is just incredible. And I just remember the impact that everything in this duel had on me watching it for the first time when I was, I think, must have been 10 or 11. Yeah, I can't get enough of this duel. It's easily my favorite, actually, the more I think about it.
So Connor, actually, so wait, let's go around. What decision did you agree with most about on this? What decision did you disagree with most? I'll start. Agree with, I'm so glad we put Twin Suns and Duel of the Fates in S tier because I think that's beautiful. I think they're both beautiful. I'll say disagree with Jacob. Putting Luke and Ben in B tier is all your fault, and I'm never going to let you live that down. So, go ahead, Jacob. What decision do you agree with most and disagree with most on this tier list?
I disagree with all the S tier duels, which to recap is Duel of the Fates.
Really?
Yeah, Duel of the Fates. Duel of the Fates, that's just Obi-Wan and Maul. Ahsoka and Vader on Malachor. Kanan and Ezra versus the Inquisitor. Versus the Grand Inquisitor, the final duel. The Twin Suns duel. And Vader versus Luke in...
Did you say you disagree or agree?
I agree. I agree with all of them.
I think you said disagree before.
Oh, my bad. I totally agree.
I thought he was doing a bit.
No. I totally agree with all of them. I think I love all these duels and they're incredibly well deserving. I think it really, really pains me to see the Invisible Hand duel at B tier. I really think that, in my opinion, that definitely belongs higher up the list.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same. I'm pretty much in league with Jacob. I agree with all the S tier duels and just the first episode 3 duel being B tier. Yeah, can't shake it. Not a fan.
Okay, apparently I've said a lot of people today so far. That's good. It's good to hear. Okay, so Connor, we have a decision to make. And Jacob, of course, you can help with this decision too, but I was gonna say this. Actually, let's let Connor decide. Connor, which one do you want to see first? Do you want to do Clones or do you want to do the unanimated arcs?
Let's do unanimated arcs.
Jacob, are you good with that?
Let's do it.
Unanimated arcs. This was my tier list, and I'm very excited about this. So these are arcs that were planned for the Clone Wars before the 2013 cancellation, and what remains after the revival season of Season 7 in 2020. So let's just get into this, shall we? Boba Fett and Cad Bane on Tatooine. This would have been interesting. Automatic S.
Yeah. I've seen it. I like it a lot. S.
Jacob, what do you think?
I know nothing about this arc, so I'm going to abstain from voting for this one, actually.
I'll give you a little background on it if it helps you at all. Boba and Cad Bane were going to take a side mission to Tatooine, and Cad Bane's objective was to train Boba up because Jango and Cad, while Jango was alive, never got to fight and see who was the better bounty hunter. And he's hoping to train Boba up so he can see who's the better bounty hunter. And they duel at the end, and it leaves. And Bane, if you remember that Bane has that patch on his head in the Bad Batch, that's from this. And Boba gets the dent in his helmet from that duel. Are you still gonna abstain or what? What's going on?
That sounds pretty neat. I'd give that a A or a B.
I'm gonna say A.
A is completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool, but I think, I don't think this is my favorite of any of these. Let's talk about Crystal Crisis, which Jacob and I actually reviewed on Indie Galaxy around a month ago.
A.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I've seen parts of it. So,
Jacob, what would you say about Crystal Crisis?
I was actually a big fan of it. Definitely more of an offbeat arc. There were a lot of moments with the dialogue where I just thought, man, this was really like where they had the dialogue. Were they smoking something? What was going on there? But I liked it. I liked it overall. So I think an A. I think it was really solid.
Okay, I was gonna put it as a B. I think there is some really great stuff in this arc, and there's some stuff that just doesn't work for me. But the good stuff is really good, and the bad stuff is whatever. So I guess we're putting that as A at A as well. Dark Disciple 1. Quinlan Voss meets Asajj Ventress. They're both two outcasts from their respective orders. They fall in love. You can read all of this, Dark Disciple 1 and Dark Disciple 2, which I'll move over here. Let's rank them as a group, why not? What do you all think about Dark Disciple? First of all, have you read Dark Disciple, Connor?
I'm in the process of reading it, albeit very, very, very slowly. So from what it sounds like, it'd be a pretty solid Clone Wars arc, so I'll give it an A.
Jacob?
Yeah, I'd give it an A as well. I think just from what I know and what little of it I've experienced of it, yeah, I think it would have had a lot of potential.
I think I probably would give it an A as well, because I think it would have been very good. It might not have been my exact kind of thing, but I think it would have opened some really interesting possibilities, and I would want to see Quinlan as a main character of an arc, because I think that would be really interesting. The Bad Batch go to Kashyyyk with Yoda, and that's the arc we're talking about next. The Bad Batch on Kashyyyk. They go to Kashyyyk with Yoda, and they there's this whole thing with the Wookiees allying with them, and the Wookiees having to burn their ancestral trees, and having tree ents go to battle with them on Kashyyyk. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, A. From what I've seen of this, yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, it's written by one of my favorite writers, Matt Meknevitz. So A. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go with probably B myself. Son of Dathomir.
Ooh.
We would have seen this is in comic form now. We would have seen how Darth Maul escaped the clutches of Darth Sidious, and the death of Mother Talzin.
So the comic for me is S. So yeah, S tier.
Yeah,
I think I might
it's
say S as well. Yeah,
it's an S tier comic. Wait. Eli, you're giving an S rating to a piece of media about Maul?
may I
I'm
recall?
pinching
May,
myself
may
right
I give you? May I give it? Maybe may I remind you that I also put Twin Sons and Duel of the Fates in S.
now. Okay, that's fair. That is fair.
But here's the thing. Often you should notice this because often I give S tiers and good stuff to media about what? Maul getting his ass kicked. That's most of the stuff. I mean, other than Duel of the Fates, but that's just a masterclass in duels. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, Twin Sons is Maul getting his ass kicked. We have Return not of the Jedi, but to the Jedi, where Ahsoka investigates a Sith shrine below the Jedi Temple. Darth Sidious tries to stop her, but doesn't succeed. She finds out some sinister things about the Jedi and the Force in the process. I'm gonna say this is S because I would have loved to see this weird Force shit that I think they would have done with this arc.
I'll go A. Yeah, I it sounds like a really, really cool idea. So
Yeah, I'll go S as well. The idea seems pretty great.
We're going S for Return to the Jedi.
Yep.
All right.
Rex, R2, and a reprogrammed super battle droid crash land on a planet and are forced to work together to survive in a Top Gun-esque style arc. That's what we're looking at. Rex, R2, Top Gun style.
S. I love
S.
R2. Yeah, I love R2. So
I'm such a sucker. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, like him working with Rex and a reprogrammed super battle droid just sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm such a sucker for when they give the droids, especially the separatist battle droids, when they give them a lot of personality and charm in the Clone Wars. I'm such a sucker for that. So yeah, automatic S tier for the reprogrammed B2.
So I think I would have gone B for this. So I think we'll put it in A. If that's okay with the both of you.
God damn it, Eli.
I know. I love being the controversial one in here.
I know which decision I disagree with now.
Yeah, no shit. The Yuuzhan Vong were slated to appear in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, believe it or not. It was supposed to be an X-Files alien abduction type series of episodes. It didn't get that far, and Dave Filoni has also said that it was very unlikely that it would have actually made it into the show, that they were just looking at exploring concept art ideas for it, but yeah.
See, I don't know.
For me, this arc could have been incredible or really bad.
Yeah, I'll give it a C as well. You know, it's.
I think I'd end up giving it a B, but I'm gonna go with the two of you and go C. We return to Mon Calamari to address growing concerns on Mon Cala with the Chancellor, with Palpatine's growing power in the Senate and politics, and Anakin and Padme having to deal with that. We return to Mon Cala in this arc, so I automatically have to put it in S tier because I love Mon Cala 1, and I think it would have been great to see it again.
I would give it an A. As we talked about previously before this, Eli, obviously they'd have to change some stuff, but like it'd be cool with how it could potentially tie into the 2017 Vader comic, specifically the Mon Cala arc that Charles Soule wrote. So I'd give it an A. Plus, like the politicking of Star Wars with the Clone Wars was really solid. So,
Jacob, return to Mon Cala.
I'll give it a B. It seems like a solid one.
Okay, I think we're putting it in an A then. Because yeah, I put it in S. Connor put it at A, and Jacob put it. Okay, I could not for the life of me figure out this last arc. If anybody knows, if anyone wants to look at this tier list and tell me what they think it is, what my guess was there was originally an entire arc planned about Plo finding Ahsoka before the Clone Wars and taking her to the Jedi Temple. And I think this is what that is. Basically, a friendly woman of an alien species would have tried to take Ahsoka, and she seemed to be very friendly. And Plo is that very imposing figure. But the alien lady would end up being a part of a bounty hunter gang that was attempting to sell Force sensitives, and Plo is, of course, a Jedi. The moral being don't judge a book by its cover. I'm gonna maybe do a hot take. I'm gonna maybe deliver a hot take here. I don't think this was needed. Like, I think it would have been cool, but I'm not sure if this was really needed. And I would be inclined to place it at like C.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll give it a C as well.
Okay, and that is our second tier list done. Star Wars in a Galaxy unanimated Clone Wars arcs. Let's pass it around. Jacob, why don't you go first on this one? What decision do you most agree with and most disagree with?
I most agree with. Oh boy, let me see. I most agree with Son of Dathomir. That's just, I think, a pretty masterfully executed, at least in comic form. So I would have loved to see it on the screen. And what I most disagree with, I don't know. I think they all have pretty fair pretty fair rankings. And honestly, I'm not going off a whole lot of information or
this
a whole lot
one's
of experience
tricky because of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor, what about you?
The one I most agree with is Son of Dathomir, and the one I most disagree with is the whole Rex and R2-1 being an A when it rightfully should be an S.
Actually, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there, Connor. I'm right with you there.
Sorry.
How about you, Eli? Well, what you got?
Okay, here we go. So, mine would be Son of Dathomir, absolutely at S. I think. By the way, thank you both I know this was mostly Jacob, but thank you for letting me put Return to the Jedi in S. But also screw both of you because Mon Calamari totally should have been an S. So,
all right, it is.
I don't know.
Connor,
I don't know.
Yeah, let's switching it up a little bit.
This is just going to be Jacob nerding out for however long we do that. Like, we're barely even going to be involved in this conversation. I hope you know that.
Oh, I mean, there's literally one ship that I know is S tier, and it's not easy. It's not that hard to figure out which one it is. So, unless it's not there, which it'd shock me if it wasn't.
Okay.
So let's see what
Here we go.
Holy shit, we have two.
Also,
a lot.
These are vehicles as well. So we have the AT-AT, the all-terrain armored transport. I personally think they're very iconic, and I love them. I would put them in S tier.
Yeah, S. They serve a really good function.
When you see AT-ATs, you know there's trouble coming.
They're stupid, but they're awesome.
ATTEs, yeah, S.
Yeah, ATTEs are iconic as well, especially, just in the Clone Wars. Yeah, you gotta love them.
Jacob, what are you putting it at?
S as well.
So I would put it at B. So hope A is all right.
Fucking kidding me.
The Unabongo, the bongo.
What's this from again?
It's when they go underwater in Phantom Menace. We shall give you Unabongo.
Oh, that thing. I love the prequel design, so S. I'm partial to all of them.
I was gonna go like very low. I was gonna go C or D or something like that because I'm just like kind of not huge on them, but whatever.
I'll give it a C. I'm neutral.
Yeah. Let's do like a B then.
I was gonna say C would be fine with me.
Okay, then we'll put it there. The V-Wing stars
S.
The Destroyer.
S.
Are you just gonna put all of these at S?
Dude, it's a V-Wing. They're a great design. I love playing them in Battlefront 2. S.
I will say, I will put it at probably a C because
You're
kinda
killing me, Eli.
I know. I'm sorry, Con.
You're killing me. Can't believe you.
I'm gonna say the V-wing look. It's cool, but it doesn't really do a whole lot.
Wait, what did you say? What tier?
It's cool, but it doesn't do a whole lot. I'll give it B.
B. So I think it's gonna end up with probably A or B. Let's do B. What about that?
That's good. That's
Cloud
a lot. That's a lot better than C. Cloud car design's cool. Using them in Battlefront 2 was cool, but like I wasn't big on. But C.
I was gonna go C as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them a C. They're cool. They don't do a whole lot.
AATs A. I love the sorry, not A. S. I love the design of the AATs. They're an iconic design.
Yeah.
I love
S
the
tier.
AATs.
Yep.
Jacob.
Yeah, I give this an A, but if it's an S, it's fine. It's a very iconic design. I love them in the Clone Wars. They take a lot of abuse from clones and Jedi, but they serve their purpose and they look cool doing it.
Tandem V4.
I was gonna say Hammerhead Corvette. Yeah.
Wait, that's a Hammerhead Corvette.
No, I meant yeah, that's what they're called, right? The Hammerhead Corvettes.
That looks like a wait. Let me make it full.
No, I'm pretty sure the
that
Hammerhead
looks like
Corvette.
A CR90.
Yeah, CR90.
Oh yeah, the
Corvette.
CR90 transports. Yeah.
That's like the Tanta V4.
The Tanta V4 model.
Yeah, I'll go.
The Tanta 4 model.
I'll go like B. I don't know. They're cool.
I think like the design's okay. I think the iconography of it for me would raise it to A, but I'm fine if we put it in B.
Man, you guys are killing me. I was gonna say S all the way. I love the Tanta V4. I love this design.
We're putting it in an A.
But if it's the consensus is A, so be it.
Okay. Somebody try and convince me that the LAAT/I should not be an S. I love that shit.
It needs to be an S.
It needs to be an S. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
What the hell is this? It needs to be an S.
I was really into Legos when I was a few years younger. And
dude, the LAAT
this was
Lego
my pride and joy.
set was incredible. What's the next one? Oh, that's the ship that gets blown up in the
Radiant 7.
Radiant. Oh,
I like the design a lot. B.
I was gonna go with B or C or maybe even D.
Yeah, I'll give it a C. You know, it's feels a little bit like a knockoff Corellian Corvette. But, you know,
yeah.
So
Sandcrawler.
B.
I can't stand these things. I don't like sandcrawlers, so I was gonna go with D or F on this one. I'd go with D on this one.
Oh, you guys. It's okay. I'll give this one an S. I love the sandcrawlers. They're
We're putting
iconic,
this in B.
And they're cool in kind of a funky, offbeat way.
What do we got next? Y wings?
No, it's not the Y. It's not a Y wing. It's not a Y wing. It's what the fuck is this called? Oh my god, what's this shit called?
It's the Belbalob 22.
Is that
Yeah.
is that
soulless
Grievous's
one?
The soulless one.
soulless
Thank
one.
you. The soulless one.
Grievous's ship?
Yes.
A. The design's cool.
I was gonna go with like C or D just because like
That's fair.
I don't remember
I'll give
that
it a
ship
D.
at
It
all.
doesn't do
Let's
much.
go with B.
I was
for
gonna say
soulless
C.
one.
C would be
Speeder
fine.
bikes, the 74Zs.
A. Yeah,
Probably
Eli,
A.
you can put Grievous's ship in C if you want. I don't.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, speeder bikes, I give A.
I was gonna say like C or something. Jacob.
I give them a C. They don't do a lot. They're not.
Let's go
I'm not
B.
a huge fan.
Lucre Hulk, A.
Lucre Hulk. I was gonna go S. I love the design of Lucre Hulks.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I gotta go A.
Yeah.
All right,
I think A. I'll give it an A. You know, the Lucre Hulks. They're pretty. They're pretty.
Is that the
nice.
Jedi Starfighter?
It is the Delta 7B.
S.
I've never been too fond of them, honestly.
I'll give it a B.
Actually, no, I'll go
nice,
A. I'll go
It's a
A.
nice ship.
Yeah. Okay.
Vulture droids.
S.
I like them a lot. A.
Yeah, I'll give it an A as well. They're cool. They're not my favorite though.
Nice. Is that the Mon Calamari Cruisers?
MC80.
Oh, the
A.
MC80. I'm giving them an S because of their backstory.
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
giving
You know
them an
what?
S.
At least
Yeah,
in Legends,
S.
you know, they were
Dude,
underwater
canon-wise,
skyscrapers.
Canon
Yeah, I mean,
wise,
yeah,
they have a
underwater
pretty solid
skyscrapers.
backstory. S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? That's the coolest backstory you could ask for.
We
ATST.
have the all-terrain scout transport, the ATST.
S. Not S. A. I meant to say the freaking letters confused me. I'll go with A. I like the design. They're cool. Just I don't know. Yeah. A.
B, they're all right, but they're knockoff AT-ATs, and they don't carry the same amount of gravitas.
Yeah, I give a C. You know, they're not iconic or pivotal.
So I think
the
we're probably
plot
going to give
the
them
way
an A or a B. What do you?
B.
Yeah,
Because I said A, you said B, and he said C. So I think.
you said
Oh,
A.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you said S for a second. Okay.
No.
The wheel bike.
Oh, Grievous's wheel bike.
I think this thing is honestly kind of stupid.
I'm honestly gonna give it a D. We see it for like
Yeah,
all of 2 seconds.
D.
Yeah.
It's a cool design. It's just like, D.
Yeah.
TIE bombers, A.
S. I love TIE bombers. TIE bombers are great. They're associated with the asteroid field, which is a sequence I love in Empire Strikes Back. S. Jacob?
Oh, I'll give these a B. They're not my favorite, but they're neat.
Is that the regular Imperial Star Destroyer? No, that isn't. That's Super Star Destroyer. That's the Executor.
S.
Yeah.
I love the design. Yeah.
The only thing I like more than the Executor in terms of capital ships is the Eclipse, which is probably not on here.
What is this next one? Oh, this is the transport they used to get off of Hoth.
The Rebel transports. Look, they may not look like much, but they get the job done. They're the heavy lifters working behind the scenes. A.
C.
I'm gonna go with C.
Okay, so that's probably going to be B, right?
That's a B, yeah. What's this next? Is that the Hammerhead Corvette?
That's the Hammerhead Corvette. I lied that time. Hammerhead
A.
Corvette. C.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
I'll give it a B. I'm not the hugest fan of the design, but I like the KOTOR nod, like how they bring.
Are those the Jedi Starfighters?
Jedi Delta 7. That was before it was Delta 7A. I think this is Delta 7B.
No, these are the. That's the Eta 2 Actus. I think.
The Eta 2. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Eta 2. Yeah, S.
I love it. S. I absolutely love the symbolism of the way the front of the cockpit windows look kind of like the TIE Fighter windows, obviously symbolizing the way the Jedi and the Republic are kind of slipping away and, things are getting a bit darker. So yeah, I'd give it an A.
I was going to give it a B, so it's going to be A. Imperial Shuttle, S. When these guys show up, trouble's coming.
A.
Yeah, A as well.
Millennium Falcon. I dare either of you not to put this as an S.
A.
I'll give it an S. I'll give it an S. It's iconic.
Why,
Iconic.
Connor? Why?
Connor and Eli are just ruining each other's days right now.
Yeah,
like,
stop, Connor. That's
like
Jacob.
it's the Falcon. It's cool. I like it. I don't really resonate with it a lot. So yeah, but whatever. It's in the S tier. It's whatever. Naboo Starfighter, S.
S. Yeah.
Especially after especially after that Book of Boba Fett episode.
Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett episode with the Mandalorian recuperating his thing. Yeah,
dude, I gotta go S.
Starfighters are sexy. They're great.
Jacob? Yeah, I'll give it an A tier, but whatever that. Yeah, S tier, I guess. They're nice.
Is that that's the
Blue World Cruiser.
A.
I was gonna go with S because I love all of the Naboo ships.
I'll give it a B. It's not my favorite.
A. Pod racers.
I
Hey, okay, so Scotty, Jero, and Jerry Cable, please do not attack my family. I don't like pod racers that much.
I'm gonna go with an A. I like them.
I'm
Actually, no. You know what? I'll go S because like there's so many cool designs and they're all like sort of personable and they're all sort of personal and just like the Boons of Eve Classica is just like one of the greatest sequences in all of Star Wars. So S.
I was gonna go with C myself. So
You son of a bitch.
again, Scotty, Jerry, don't kill my family.
I'll go with a C as well. Honestly, they're neat. They're neat, but they're not.
We'll put it in B. Scimitar.
All right. S. Actually,
Scimitar,
no.
S.
A.
S.
Yeah, I'm go with A. Actually, whatever's in between S and A, that's where I would put it.
Scimitar is great. I love Scimitar so much. It works perfectly as Darth Maul's
Dope
ship.
ass design.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it an A as well. I love how it looks like an evil version of the Naboo cruiser that is also in that movie. I think that's a great touch.
Okay. Is that an A-wing? I think that's an A-wing.
S. I love the A-wing.
Best of the Rebel starships.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a B. I'm not the hugest fan of A-wings. Sorry to spoil the party.
The Fire Spray class. The Fire Spray class attack ship.
B.
S.
Actually, no. You know what? Nah, I'll go with A.
I'll go with A.
It's Boba's ship. Come on, guys. Okay. Anyway,
I don't care about Boba that much. I like him.
Neither actually. But yeah.
What's this next one? Oh, is that the Supremacy?
The Supremacy.
S
tier.
Jacob's gonna destroy us.
Yes, he is. I'm just
ready to be destroyed. Let me get a closer look at this ship real quick, just to see which one. Yeah, it's cool. It's all right. I like the concept. I think
it's all right. It's the Supremacy, Jacob.
I think my problem with it is that at a certain point you get too big, and I think it is, in my mind, one of my problems with the sequel trilogy is that a lot of it is kind of just the originals, but bigger and badder. And for that reason, I think I'll give it a... I'll give it a C.
I think we're putting this at B. Maybe A if Jacob can. Yeah. This one's a hard one.
Straight up. Put it in A. I'm not having a good time.
Put it in A.
You can put it in A. You can put it in A. It's all good with me.
That one's still annoying me. Snow speeders, the T-47 air speeders. I'd love to catch a firefly that's far away.
A.
S tier. I love these things.
I'm lukewarm on them. I would say B, so we're going A.
What's the next one?
Solar Sailor.
Oh, S. I fucking love that ship.
S tier.
I fucking love that ship. That shit's so cool. S.
Man, sorry, what am I looking at?
It's that like dope ass ship that like fucking does that like flap thingy or whatever.
I know the one. S.
Yeah.
S. It's great. Then you have that one time that Asajj Ventress borrows it in the Clone Wars, and you're just like, or
Imperial Star Destroyer.
The Imperial Star Destroyer.
S.
Iconic, too iconic. Even though as a, I think its design philosophy kind of sucks, but yeah, S tier. It's a freaking Star Destroyer.
B-Wing. The B-Wing is the Ochi of Bestoon of Starfighters. It totally should not work, but it does. This is mostly because of my rewatch of Flight of the Defender recently.
Flight of the Defender is such a solid episode, and for that reason alone,
Wings of the Master. Wings of the Master. Sorry, Wings of the Master.
Wings of the Master. Yeah, that is a solid episode just by itself. That like I have to give B-Wings an A.
Yeah, I'll give B-Wings an A as well. I like B-Wings. They're neat.
Y-Wings. Okay, before anybody says this, Thomas, wherever you are, don't hurt our families.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with S on this one. I love Y wings, so
Yeah.
Yeah, S for the Y wings. Yeah, I love them. I love how you get them in the Clone Wars and you get them in the Rebellion. What's
I'm
not to
too
love?
scared of an angry major come after us. I was good to go A, but I think we're gonna put him in S anyway. U-wings, aka the dumbest of the wings.
S.
C.
You son of a bitch, Eli. God
Yeah,
damn it.
U wings. Actually,
No, don't you do it, Jacob. Don't you do it. Are you kidding me? They're troop transports. They're such a cool design. The wings come out. It's such a cool design philosophy.
I'll give it an A. It's a cool design philosophy.
Okay.
It's a very cool design philosophy.
The katana, Jabba's sail barge.
B.
I was gonna give it A myself because I'm a huge. I'm not crazy about the design, but I'm a huge fan of the Jabba's palace sequence in Jedi.
Actually, you know what? I'll give it an A because it's such a fun level in the complete saga.
Oh, it is. I love that. I love that level.
And plus, it has Max Rebo.
Yeah, who doesn't love Max Rebo?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. I'll give it an A.
TIE Fighter, S.
S. Jinx.
You know when you see those things on screen that trouble's coming. I don't care. S. Jacob?
Yeah, I'll give it an S as well. Too iconic not to.
TIE Interceptor.
Yeah.
Also S.
I would give it an A, but yeah, S. They're pretty cool.
I love I know this piece of trivia. This is one of the first pieces of trivia that I actually learned while actually studying for Star Wars trivia. The C-9979 landing craft.
A. They're cool.
I think they're all right. I was gonna go with B.
Actually,
A.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that in one of those big cross-section illustration books, I learned that they supposedly use high-powered magnets to keep all the parts together, because otherwise they would fall apart, according to this book, which I think is one of the cooler little tidbits that has been introduced to Star Wars.
The Epsilon class command shuttle.
It's a really cool design.
Is that Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
S.
Yeah, I'll give it a B. It's an interesting one, but it's not my.
By the way, they don't have the TIE silencer on here, or as any Cubs fans would know it, the TIE slicer.
What I don't get. Here's what I don't get. They don't have the vectors on here, which are from the High Republic, but like the vectors are so dope. They're S tier to me. What do we got next? S.
I'm lukewarm on them. I'm going B.
Eli,
you son of a bitch.
Eli, Eli's going off today. But
Eli's just killing me, man.
S. I'll give it an S tier as well. They're
X-Wing.
They're probably my favorite.
Convince me not to put this S. Convince me not to. It's the most iconic ship design.
I was about to, Eli. I was legitimately worried you were going to have some hot take about X-Wings.
X-Wings are great. I love X-Wings.
X-Wings are legitimately my favorite Star Wars ship.
They're probably one of mine. They're probably up there for me too. The X-34 speeder. The land speeder. The X-34 land speeder.
C.
I was going to go with A just because of the iconography of it. Like, it's one of the first vehicles you truly see in Star Wars. Jacob?
Yeah, S.
S? Okay, so I think probably we're going to put that at A or B. What do you think, Jacob?
Let's put it at A. I'm pulling for A, but
sure.
Yeah.
If it has to be a B.
The MG-100 bombers from The Last Jedi.
I'll go with A. I'm
A.
a history nut, so like.
Wait, watch this. Okay, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna read Jacob's mind. You are thinking C or D.
I'm thinking F. I'm just not a fan of these things.
I was lowballing it. We'll put this at C.
That's fair.
Okay, let's go around. decision you most agree with, decision you most disagree with. I'll go first. I think the A tier is pretty darn good. Thank you, everyone, for putting the a lot of the capital ships up there. The AT-AT was good. I agree with a lot of the N1s. The N1s being at S warms my heart. But how dare you, Scimitar at A, Imperial Shuttle at A, and TIE Advanced and Fire Spray at all at A, and Supremacy, those all deserve to be at S. So, like, yeah.
Okay. I'm happy that we have the Republic gunship, the LAATI. I'm happy that we have the Solar Sailor, the Y-Wing. Those are some of my favorites. But how did we not have the Venator at S tier? It's just so iconic. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about the Venator, as many Clone Wars fans probably would agree.
Yeah, ones I agree with, X-Wing at S. The one I disagree with, V-Wing at B. You gotta be shitting me, Eli. God damn it. God damn it. B. A V-Wing at B. It needs to be at A at least, but no. B. Son of a bitch.
Connor, we have one last thing for you before we end out the stuff. We like to ask some speed round questions.
Ooh, okay.
First one: who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Cal.
Yeah, I should have expected that one. What is your what is your Star Wars movie ranking? If you don't have a specific ranking for us, you can
No.
No.
No. And I'm doing this, so I have actually 2 rankings for Star Wars, but I'm going to go with how I enjoy them as Star Wars movies. And I'm going to probably get a lot of hate for this, but like, whatever. If you get offended by someone else's rankings, that's on you, not me. That's your problem. So how I like them as Star Wars films, okay, from 1 to 12, Attack of the Clones, Last Jedi, Rogue One, Empire, A New Hope, Solo, Clone Wars movie, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens. But I will say, Phantom Menace is probably going to take over Clone Wars because I rewatched it and just, goddamn, dude, Phantom Menace, so good. I fucking love it. So yeah, I would switch Clone Wars and Phantom Menace 7 and 8. So Phantom Menace would be 7, Clone Wars would be 8. But it's close there. So
Jacob, do you want to do the next 2?
Yeah. What is your favorite piece of non-movie Star Wars media that people are missing out on? That more people need to.
I know what he's gonna say.
Well,
go ahead.
There's 2.
There are 2, yeah.
Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order, and the High Republic. So, yeah.
All right.
I know Connor's a huge fan of both of them, and he's expressed at length how much he appreciates both of them.
Fair enough.
If you follow Connor on Twitter, you probably know him as that Fallen Order guy.
Yeah.
You've built a reputation, my friend. You know, it's Jacob, go ahead. Next one.
What is your who is your favorite Star Wars background character?
Ooh, okay. This is actually a good one because I don't know. I straight up don't know. Ooh. I really have no idea. Okay, the first one that pops to my mind is the Chadra fan in the cantina, in Chalmun's cantina in A New Hope. That's just trying to get a drink. That's probably my favorite background character. Just that's such an adorable moment. So right now, at least, that's my favorite one. She's my favorite one.
Cabe
Good
is.
choice.
What is, in your opinion, is the coolest Star Wars species?
Ooh, wow. Probably bivalves. They just have a neat look. But like, damn, that's a really good question. Because I could list like so many others too. Ooh, yeah, it's one subject to change, but like as of right now, as of this recording, which is Saturday, March 19th in the year 2022, bivalves. So, but subject to change.
All right. What is your favorite planet in Star Wars?
Kashyyyk.
Good answer. Good answer. I like
Yep.
that answer. I like that answer.
Go ahead with the next one, Jacob, because I want to ask Aid.
Of course. If you lived in the Star Wars universe, what do you think your job would be?
Probably like archives assistant or whatever. I don't know. If I had to like place myself as where I'm at right now, probably like something to do with archives or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't mind working for the Jedi.
So there is the infamous behind the scenes quote that George Lucas talks about with episode 1. You know, it's like poetry, you know, they rhyme. Every stanza, you know, sort of rhymes with the last. Hopefully it'll work. What's your favorite it's like poetry, it rhymes moment in Star Wars?
Oh God, there's so many I could choose from, and I'm blanking on all of them. I really don't know, but a connection that I think is unintentional, but could not be unintentional, that I've made is that one of the sayings in the High Republic, the Jedi specifically, one of the rallying cries is for light and life. And they say that a lot. That's really just like, that's what they fight for light and for life. And it recently occurred to me when I was rewatching Attack of the Clones, there's probably a connection there of when Obi-Wan says this weapon is your life. And so it kind of just showcases, just like in 2 sentences, the downfall of the Jedi from the High Republic to the prequels. So not necessarily the best answer, but like just something that came to me. Because like I really don't know my favorite poetry moment because there's like so many of them.
I think that's a really interesting one. Jacob, go ahead with the next one.
Okay. If you could take one item or force power from Star Wars into the real world and use it however you want, what are you picking?
Force pull because I'm lazy and I would just want to pull stuff to myself from
I
far
feel
away.
that one.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one.
And finally, we have a running joke on this show with friend of the show, Devore from Large Review of the Force. All I want you to do is we're going to display the name of a character on screen, and you're just going to tell us how you pronounce that character, okay?
Oh, God. Oh, gee. Zam Wessel.
Thank you.
Devore, you were like, I feel bad for Devore at this point.
He's gotten, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
2 for him.
Again, here's the thing. It's like AT-AT and AT-AT for me. Both pronunciations are fine. So Zamwizel or Zamwessel is fine. I've just never pronounced it Zamwizel.
Both are fine, both are fine to us. We like to give them shit about it, but yeah. I
did not even realize that was a pronunciation until like last year. I didn't know.
Neither did we. Until we started the show, we didn't either, but we ran into it on, we were talking about Bounty Hunter. We were talking about that game, and Leanna Walsman pronounces it, "Hi, I'm Zamwizel." I'm like, wait, that's not allowed.
Wait, that's illegal.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, there's the Legends Wikipedia page. The canon doesn't have a pronunciation. The Legends Wikipedia page accepts both, which is the most annoying thing ever. But whatever. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Before we wrap up, Connor, you want to plug all the stuff you're doing?
Sure. So you can find me on Twitter at Tepa Banana, where I talk about High Republic, Star Wars in general, life. Yeah, it's about it. Some people find me interesting, which I appreciate. You can find me at the Nerd Academy podcast, a podcast I'm a part of, specifically our Star Wars show, Knights of the Nerd Republic, where we talk everything Star Wars, news, theories, roundup, interviews, what have you. We're kind of a jack of all trades sort of thing. And then you can find me writing articles and stories at sweditorig.com. To reiterate, I work with a team of creatives. We keep to the canon while also adding to it with our own stories. We have stories already published by probably some of the best people I've worked with ever, that you can check out at sweditor.com, sweditorig.com/sweu. I have some stories coming out in August about a character. You can pretty much figure out who they are. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
That's great. Again, go check out Connor at all those locations. Thanks so much to Connor for joining us for this episode. You can find all of the In a Galaxy stuff, Twitter at In a Galaxy Pod, Instagram at Star Wars In a Galaxy. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We'll be there. If not, email us at swinagalaxy@gmail.com. Email us with all your hot takes and stuff like that, and questions and all that kind of stuff. Leave a 5-star review and rating if you can on Apple Podcasts. It really does help our noticeability and our reception. Next week, if you have checked our Twitter recently, you know that In a Galaxy is going to be taking a short hiatus for a little while. Jacob and I have some conflicting scheduling stuff, so we are not going to be releasing an episode next week. We may release an episode the week after. I'm still trying to get some details. I'm trying to get some guests on to do something very fun. And if that happens, that'll happen. If it doesn't, I'll figure out something. Something's gonna go live the first week of April. We are not going to be putting out anything that following week, but then the week after that, In a Galaxy will be returning to its normal schedule in the third week of April. In the meantime, unless there's anything else, may the Force be with you always.